Now that we know a little bit more about how to get to DCP tools, let's take a look at PowerPlan tool in a little bit more in depth. So let's just click on this and open up the program. And once you first open up the program, you'll be introduced to basically blank homepage for this tool. So the main areas that we're interested in is the description panel on the left side here, the attribute name panel, values up here, and then the panel down below to the bottom right, which has different tabs right here. So first things first, if we want to open up an order set or a PowerPlan in Cerner terminology, we want to click on this folder option right here. So I'm going to click on that, and it brings us up a new window called the Plan Selection window. So, like I said earlier, order sets or power plans, this is what, well, within our organization at least, we have existing clinical order sets, but we've also built out new ones as well. And we do have a specific way we've built them out, and I can go over the style guide in another video, but all order sets that are specific to a stream have a prefix associated with them. So if we take a look at cardiology, the prefix that we've used for cardiology is card. So if I just type that in and press enter, let's make this window a little bit bigger, we can see, well, everything first of all related to cardiology, but other order sets as well that have just the name card, and then the search for cardiac or cardiology or cardiovascular. So basically it pulls in anything with the card name in it. So as you can see here, we have order sets that are with the status of production along here on the right side, and they have a check mark on the left side here, meaning that they're in production. And then also we have different prefixes associated with other order sets that are considered inactive. So important things is YY. That means it's inactive right now, but for future use. So those are important to be aware of. And then ZZ or ZZ. So the ZZ order sets that have the prefix in front of the name are inactive because for whatever reason we've gone through them, we built them first of all. We've gone through clinical review or had discussion with the business areas, and they basically said, well, you know what, we don't need this right now, or it's just old build that was erroneous for whatever reason. So you can see there's quite a few ZZ and 4 Z1s as well. Lots of practice, lots of misfires, lots of things that had to be inactivated as we've kind of gone through the whole CPOE process and iHealth. So what we're interested in, so let's open up an order set. Let's open up cardiac admission, card admission. So if this window right here, so if there's anything that is not flexed or not available at a particular facility, it'll actually highlight that for you right here. And we can go in this in a little bit more depth later on, but in this video I just want to give an introduction or a brief overview of how PowerPlan tool works. So on the left here, this is what's actually going to be displayed in PowerChart when somebody searches for it. So you can see here the blue book. These are categories that will be displayed in PowerChart. So we have the admit, transfer, discharge / status category. And under that, with the check mark to the left of the order, admit to inpatient, that is an individual order that we've built, we've created. And the details panel, or the column right here, and this is the order details themselves, what they actually display, what they say, where things are going to be routed in some cases. So we can see here the first, or what's going to be displayed by default is going to be TNN, telemetry, emergency to inpatient admit. Now, TNN, it seems kind of foreign and it's not really abundantly clear what this means, but basically it means today and now. And we can modify the TNN to make it be, let's say, today plus, let's say, 6 hours from now, or today plus 30 minutes from now, etc., etc. So this is a way to basically what we call offset the time for an order. So we might want to have this ordered in 30 minutes or a couple of hours instead of right now. So just going down the list, we have most orders, which is, I guess in the new world, we're calling resuscitation status most orders. Diet and nutrition, activities, patient care, communication order, lab, and if you see a red book, that means that's a subcategory for a category. So within lab, we have hematology and chemistry, and we have several different others as well. We have microbiology, we got body fluid and stool, and several others I can't remember off the top of my head. We have diagnostic imaging, which also has subcategories as well. Medications, which has a bunch of subcategories, respiratory and consults and referrals. Now, just going back to the top, now anything that has a check mark beside the order, that means that this order will be basically, once you hit sign and initiate within PowerChart, this order will actually go off to the right areas to be processed. And that's on by default. If we don't have it ticked on, that means it's not going to be ordered by default. So if we have it ticked on, it will be ordered by default. If we don't have it ticked on, it won't be ordered by default. Now, we can change these settings at the front end and within PowerChart if we want. So that, again, go over in another video. But you can see here that some of them we've wanted to have on by default. And basically how we wanted to build this was if they're going to be ordered 80% of the time, or it's a really important order, we're going to have that defaulted on. Now, moving down to other areas. Now, you can see here the two yellow boxes right here. And then we're talking about bowel management for patients on chronic opioids, and nicotine replacement therapy. You can see on the right of the name, it has module. And what a module means is, or refers to, is it's a subphase. So a subphase. So a subphase, what it just means is it's an order set, but it can be embedded within its parent order set. So it's basically you can nest multiple modules or subphases into an order set that can be used. And these are usually unticked by default, but if we were in PowerChart, we can tick them and it would bring up another order set kind of just like this with several different orders. And it just kind of helps organize things into specific areas. So in this case, bowel management, if I did open this up within PowerChart, it would have orders related to bowel care, bowel-related medications, and communication orders related to bowel management. And the blue icon right here that looks like a notepad, this is what we call a physician note. And it depends on what the note is trying to state, but we have different colors. So if we have a yellow note, it's kind of just information for the physician to kind of help guide them. Now this kind of relates back to, or this does relate back to clinical decision support. And there is one right here. So for example, while on enoxaparin, order baseline hematology profile and creatinine. Then every 2 days, complete blood count with differential. So it just helps guide a physician or a user to order certain orders depending on the situation. Now, if we go back here, diabetes related order, it doesn't really say too much other than we've used this as a heading. So this is dark green right here. And we use it as a heading to kind of help differentiate within PowerChart certain orders. So anything below this, it's related to diabetes. And if we go down further, we got more notes right here. And more order sets. So order sets, may be related to medications. We'll have them down in the medication section, or if you can see up here, ECGs in the diagnostic imaging section as well. And if we wanted to save this order set, and so earlier on I made an adjustment of clicking here and unclicking here, and it actually gives you this option to save. We're not going to save anything just yet here, but if I did click on this, it would save it, and then it would actually allow me to see the changes that I've made within DCPTools in PowerChart.